This episode of Unqualified is brought to you by McDonald's, proudly serving communities since 1965. On the drive to and from my parents' house in Washington State, we almost always stop at two particular McDonald's, one in Salem, Oregon, and another in Eureka, California. At the moment, we are in the parking lot of the Salem location, and I just finished a Big Mac and fries. Even though we are just passing through, I appreciate the familiarity and feeling of community. The other day, I was looking through my mother-in-law's photo album and came across a photo where she and her friends are standing in front of a McDonald's wearing their cheerleading uniforms. I usually call my mother-in-law New Mom, but her name is Marcia. Under the photo, Marcia had written a note, and I talked her into letting me read it here. San Bernardino, California. I have so many memories of this McDonald's over the years. My father took me there on what I think was opening day. What a thrill it was as a young girl to order a chocolate shake, hamburger, and French fries. Then there was the time when my cousin Hinda and I were given a tour and allowed to take dill pickles by the cupful out of a huge barrel. We must have eaten 100 pickles each. Everyone in my family knows the story of how I accidentally missed the ketchup container and dipped a fry into my milkshake. Now when I dip fries in my shake, it's on purpose. I remember when I was 12 years old, my mother and my cousin Noel Novak, Larry's brother, picked me up from dance class, and we went for dinner to celebrate Noel's graduation from high school. Years later, when I was in high school, we would go to McDonald's every Friday night after the football game. I wish you could see this photo. Marcia couldn't remember if they won the game that night, but everyone is smiling as if they did. Wherever your local McDonald's is, there's nothing better than that wonderful feeling of community.
Are you at work right now?
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my dressing room with your husband, who is obnoxiously wearing a USC School of Dramatic Arts hat. I feel like the alumni of USC tends to be the most braggadocious.
That's probably true.
They absolutely are. They're aggressive in their school spirit.
I love you, Amy.
That's probably true. You're also a professor there, by the way, so please don't talk shit about your school.
If my kid can go to USC, I would be very happy. So
wait a minute. What are you talking about?
Well, I think that kids can go to SC for free if we're Jack can go to SC because you're a professor.
Well, no, but I think you have to be like 10 years. I mean,
I know.
Professor.
Before we get to the ad reads, first of all, Amy, thank you so much for joining us. People are been asking where you are, and hey, you've been busy, making our country proud, putting away criminals.
We're on air right now?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Sure.
I'm glad we're in a good mood.
Yeah.
Did that seem passive aggressive to you, Amy?
No, actually, no. I'm glad we're in a good mood.
Why would Amy, will you take over from here?
Yeah, Amy, why don't you tell us what's going on with you?
Well, the big news from Sim and me is that I'm pregnant.
Yeah! I'm so thrilled. I'm so happy.
So 13 weeks.
Happened. I'm 13 and a half weeks. I'm almost done my first trimester. It certainly happened a lot more quickly than we expected, but I am very grateful.
I remember you coming over for a dinner party, and you had thought that you were pregnant, but then you kind of weren't sure. You must have known, right? Like somewhere.
Yeah. So I had this feeling, like but of course I'd never been pregnant before, so I didn't know how to compare it, but I just felt like something was different. But the first test I took was negative. So I thought like my body is just playing tricks on me, but that feeling kind of didn't go away. And so then that night, if you remember, we were like offered me wine. I was like, I think I'm gonna pass just in case. And then, we got ourselves a little honeymoon baby. So
It's so exciting. It's exciting. I mean, of course, you've known this for a while. It's exciting. It's scary. So if any dads out there have any advice for me,
yeah, we need all the advice.
We don't have any male listeners. There'll be no dad advice for me.
Love your woman.
I like it.
Yeah, no, Sim's been great. I think Sim's actually been enjoying my pregnancy.
I love that.
I eat quite a bit more.
Good job, Sim.
I'm a lot more fun to share food with.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little scared, but I'm more excited than scared. But then again, how can I not be? How can anyone not be in this situation? But it's all amazing stuff, of course.
Yeah, Sim was definitely in denial when I told him.
Oh, should we say the sex?
Do you want to say it now, or do you want to keep that under wraps for a little longer?
No, we'll just say it. It's a boy.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
So that was also surprising. Sim's face when that was found out, that was pretty priceless.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm so thrilled for you guys. Epidural.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to being on leave so the baby and I can come hang out with you guys when you record.
This is going to be great.
Love that.
It's going to be great.
Which I'm sure that's exactly what you want, is a newborn infant crying as you're trying to record a podcast.
Well, and you guys told me that I could name the baby.
Did we say that?
Yeah. That was actually really funny. Remember, Anna texted that, and I responded like, haha, and Anna writes like, that sounded like a nervous laugh.
I remember that.
Absolutely a nervous laugh.
I'm sure she has some ideas, and I wouldn't be surprised if she kind of slipped me a few of those ideas over the next 6 months. But we'll see. But
Trojan Sarna.
There you go. All right. So before we get to the ad reads, Amy, will you indulge us for a second? We just need to really apologize to a segment of actually, we should apologize to all of our listeners.
Well, we
sometimes we get
mess
things
up. Yeah, and it's I feel like it's my fault, and sometimes we're not as thoughtful, or I'm not as thoughtful as I could be, and I do want to apologize and clarify a couple of things, right, Sim?
Yeah, well, I mean, this was difficult because there was a deal breaker question from the Heather Graham episode from a couple weeks ago, and the question was,
the deal breaker was, you're dating a guy who dated his college roommate,
right?
And the implication was that he had dated another guy, and it was really insensitive because I never want that idea to sort of be portrayed in any kind of negative light.
Right.
And I'm really sorry because I value so much all of our listeners, and I didn't mean to put Heather in an awkward position, and
we just handled it wrong. We took it out of the episode pretty early on, and then we did get some emails, and I want to read one of the emails because I think this is important to read. Do you mind, Anna?
No, I would love that.
Okay, so this is from Mariah, and she's in Indiana, and she said, first off, I just want to say I love the podcast. I've been listening from episode 1. I look forward to a new episode every week. I'm in the middle of listening to the episode with Heather Graham, and it's during the Deal Breaker segment. Let me preface this by saying I'm not one of those social media crusaders wanting to be mean or call anyone out in a negative way. I just wanted to give you some food for thought. So the question was basically, if the guy had dated a man previously but was attempting to date Heather, would that be a deal breaker? All a matter of opinion as to that being a deal breaker, of course. I am a bisexual identifying individual. In the world right now, there's a lot of representation for the bisexual community, and there is a lot of misinformation about us. It took me a long time to accept my sexuality and to come out to my friends and family. I only just came out last year on my birthday, and it's been absolutely fantastic ever since. Hooray for being true to yourself. Anyway, I just want to say that if somebody has once dated somebody of the same gender and also somebody of the opposite gender, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're secretly gay or that they're just a confused straight person. Very likely, they could be bisexual. The only reason I even bring this up is because I love the show so much, and as a bisexual person, it's really tough to see the media always portraying us in this light, or rather totally ignoring our existence altogether. We're either secretly gay or we are confused / experimenting straight person. As a 50-50 bisexual, I can tell you I am definitely not confused. I know exactly what I like, and I'm not a secret lesbian, LOL. It also kind of hurts when people are fearful to be intimate with somebody who's bi because they think we're just going to fuck everybody and are bound to cheat. Also, not true. There are definitely all different kinds of people in the world. There are bisexual people who have open relationships. There are bisexual people who probably cheat. I'd say we do just as much as straight people do. I am also a serial monogamist. I'm also married to a man, and I would never cheat on him in any scenario imaginable. Now, does that mean I don't find women attractive sexually? Definitely not. I'm very attracted to both men and women. Lucky for me, my husband doesn't and has not ever feared that about me. Again, all a matter of opinion as to whether this is a deal breaker or not. I just wanted to shed a positive light on the bi community and perhaps give people something to consider. Thanks, Sim. Again, I love the show, and I really love you and Anna's platonic friendship. My friend is the dude. We've been friends ever since we were 13. It's a rare thing. Much love, Mariah.
Mariah, thank you so much for your support and your insight and giving us pause and reflection on sometimes what fucking idiots we can be.
We apologize to your listeners. We're really sorry.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
But that wasn't the only controversial thing from that episode. So during the advice call with so do you remember the advice call? So our caller, she was being bullied by her coworkers.
And we told her to not go to HR, right?
Yeah, she was doing really well at work.
Morons are we?
She's doing really well at work.
We're so fucking
and we're
lame.
telling her to conserve. We're officially unqualified.
We need an HR department.
I'm like, Amy, how'd you like the episode? She goes, the episode was great, but you totally got the advice part wrong. And of course we did.
By the way, I don't think I was the only one with that opinion.
No, you're not. In fact, Chelsea, who is a senior HR manager, she's in Brooklyn. She actually wrote us an email. Can I read this email to you, Anna?
Yes, please.
All right. So here is her qualified advice, the advice that we should have given.
We need to employ a therapist, someone legit.
Oh,
anyway,
man.
okay, please read the email.
I'm going to read this. So Chelsea writes, I was listening to the pod today and wanted to reach out to help the caller with the mean girl situation at her job. I've been in HR for 7+ years and I'm always on the side of the employee first, business second. So I thought I might be able to send these tips along to you to pass on to her. She sounded so defeated, and hearing about those awful women really irritated the crap out of me. Hopefully my advice helps. And here we go. And this is what you're supposed to do. Document every incident, including naming the witnesses and including the managers/leadership members that did or said nothing to help. It'll be useful later if you need to speak to HR to escalate things. Talk to your bosses, managers about it, and ask them for advice on how to deal with it. Ask them to help you and advocate for you. Document the convo in a recap email, thanking your boss for the convo and putting steps you agreed on to help the situation. Again, save this and all correspondence for later. Save all convos, documents that make any reference to your good job performance, including yearly reviews, positive feedback, etc. All job performance related info. Save this in a folder in case you need to prove wrongful termination if things ever come to it. If talking to your bosses and managers fails, write an email, document everything always, to HR explaining the situation and calmly expressing how they are making you feel. How is this affecting your job and how can that potentially affect the company because of your role? Attach your notes about the incidents, your recap of the convo with your boss, and explain that you've tried to handle this situation with your boss but failed and now you need HR's help. Come with solutions. Include some suggestions of your own on what you think might help and what you'd like to do to take on and help the situation. Find allies. Chances are these women are not only doing this to you. Form a coalition. Ask those allies to speak up for you when they witness the behavior and vow to do the same for them. Ask them to speak to their bosses and HR too. There's power in numbers. Worst case, if all that fails, contact an employment lawyer if things do not get better because you have a case for a hostile work environment. Well, there you go, Anna.
I wish someone had told me this years ago, because I think as an actor, you're sort of an independent agent and you're sort of hustling around town. And so it sort of feels like, who is on my team? Who would I ever approach if there was, if there was harassment? You're also moving from job to job. But that is amazing advice, Chelsea. Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time. And I hope that people will heed that advice. And
I hope so too.
We can make the world, a better place and a safer work environment for people who are getting fucking bullied.
This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by State Farm. And in honor of their surprisingly great auto insurance rates, I'm going to tell you about a particularly surprising day on set. It takes me a long time to read a script. For almost every line of dialogue, I will stop to figure out why my character would say it, how it fits in the conversation, and how it's going to come out of my mouth. Between the lines, there are larger chunks of text which describe everything else happening in the scene. Maybe what a room looks like, what characters are wearing, and what they're doing. As I often underestimate how long everything in my life takes, I know I can make up some time by reading those larger chunks a little faster. I got the script for Overboard about 6 months before we started production. I read it in my warm living room, wearing comfortably warm clothes, sipping from a warm mug of tea. Somehow, it never occurred to me that when you jump off a boat in the middle of the ocean, the water is surprisingly cold. And it doesn't get any warmer on take 2. Here at Unqualified, we love State Farm because they provide coverage that meets your needs at a surprisingly great rate. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Warby Parker. Warby Parker was founded with a rebellious spirit and the lofty goal of creating boutique quality eyewear at a revolutionary price point. Sunglasses, with or without a prescription, start at $95 and, just like eyeglasses, are available through their home try-on program. You just choose 5 pairs and see which ones you like. I was surprised by how quickly they arrived, which presented me with the immediate problem of deciding which ones to keep. I loved all of them, so you can guess what happened. And not only can you feel good about how cool you look, you can also feel good knowing that for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need through partnerships with nonprofits like Vision Spring. Offering eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams, Warby Parker is committed to providing exceptional vision care online and in stores. So put your FSA or HSA dollars to good use on Warby Parker prescription glasses, prescription sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams. Try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try at home for free for 5 days. There's no obligation to buy. Ships free and includes a prepaid return shipping label. Try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/unqualified. That's warbyparker.com/unqualified. Hi, Zach.
Hi.
Before you got here, we were Sim
Drinking.
Sim and I were throwing around an idea of a new podcast.
Called Caitlin.
No, which we wanted you to be a part of.
Yeah.
As well.
Okay, I'll be in it. I don't have a podcast. It's very cool to have a podcast, and I know you have a very successful one. I really am late to the game, but I'd like to get in on this action.
But you know what? You are the one that's going to
Listen,
make
it's
podcasting
cheap.
famous. Like
I'm
it's
gonna
going
try.
to make it pervasive. I mean,
I'm going to try. I'm
with
putting
the
it on
TV show.
I'm putting it on
Putting
ABC.
on ABC. Everyone will know what a podcast is after your show comes out.
I hope so.
So the idea for a new podcast,
Yeah.
maybe I'll just start it off, right?
Sure. You want to pitch it to him?
Yeah. All right. Yo, what's up, motherfuckers? This is Chad with Bros Before Hoes. I gotta work on my male voice. Tyler?
That's your male impersonation? we're so horrible.
Do kids say yo anymore?
I don't know if Yo is still around.
What's up, brah?
What's up, bro?
Bruh.
Brah.
What's up, brah? We got Bros Before Hoes coming at you. Not live, because it's a fucking podcast, dicks. We're going to talk about pussy. We're going to talk about tits. We're going to talk about fucking wingdings. I'm here.
This is just
Dad.
so I'm clear. This is a guy's podcast.
So this is what's the target demo?
Yeah,
obviously,
what's the premise?
Right.
It's
So-
just guys talking about guy stuff.
By the way, Zach, this hasn't been developed. This is
I see.
literally.
I couldn't tell.
We're talking about Becca.
I couldn't tell. It hadn't been workshopped.
Becca's not wearing her fucking sports bra. Yo, Chad too. Did you clock that?
I clocked it, yo. This is the worst podcast ever.
What?
Wait, you really thought that? First of all, Bros Before Hoes is a great title for a podcast.
Especially if it's by a woman.
Thank you. Thank you. Yo, brah. We're here with Zach Braff. Woo! Fuck yeah, dude. How much pussy you getting lately?
Wait, this is your impression. But
That's what the show should be, by the way. I think it should just be called Anna Faris Presents How Much Pussy You Getting Lately.
How much pussy you getting lately?
And
Zach
it's-
Braff.
And it's a very short show. The guy comes on, he's like, "Oh, I'm doing all right. Thank you for having me." Then it's over.
Yo, thanks for being here, Zach. How much pussy you getting lately?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for
But like, be specific, yo.
I gotta go. Next up, Al Pacino.
So no bros before hoes. I don't know. I love it.
you know what? I think there's an audience there somewhere.
Oh, thanks.
Your
Wow,
your
that
peeps
sounds
are
better.
Running around with
I know. Well,
touching
did you
buttons.
have a little bit of a?
You have a posse.
Yeah, an underpaid,
You have minions.
hardworking, believing types.
Yeah, they believe in you. Do you think that you're kind of like a godhead to them?
Oh yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes, to most people. Am I not to you as well?
They probably both have small tattoos of you somewhere on their bodies.
Oh God, I hope so. Oh. My only dream is to like find out where.
Have you ever seen someone with an odd tattoo related to you, either of you or a quote from you on their body?
No. I wish no, but the reason you're asking
I
the
have. It's
question
very
is because
bizarre. Large.
What was it?
It was like most of someone's thigh in a picture of me.
Of like a character
In a costume I wore in a film I made called Wish I Was Here. I was in a spacesuit, and it was me in the spacesuit over almost all of his, I think it was a male, I'm pretty sure it was a male's thigh.
But how did
Also,
you
I was the monkey
see-
in Oz the Great and Powerful, and someone covered their whole hand and forearm with the monkey.
So you inspire body art.
I have. I just wondered if you had ever seen yourself.
No.
If you're listening to this and you know of an Anna tattoo, please make sure it gets to her.
Oh.
I'm sure it exists.
But wait, did you?
We could probably Google it.
Was this over like social media?
Yeah, they send it to me
Oh.
on usually Instagram or Twitter. They'll like tag me on Instagram with a tattoo of my face on their body,
Amazing.
or sometimes quotes from stuff I've done,
Like what?
like something from Garden State or Scrubs or something. They'll be like on their body.
Because I was hoping that I don't know. I was hoping that somebody would be waiting outside of your house to like ready to show you their commitment to you.
I'm afraid
Not
of
just
that.
sort
I
of-
don't want them.
Well, of course, it's terrifying.
I don't want them
But
outside my home.
over social media. It's
Social
like,
media, but they're like in the Ukraine, and it's okay.
Ah, yes, the Ukraine.
Or I mean, or somewhere far.
Right.
They're not
right.
outside. Like, hey man, morning. Look at the tattoo I got. That would probably freak me out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I would think in the Ukraine it's cold, so you're not like bragging to all your friends that you got a tattoo of an American celebrity on your
Unless
thigh.
you're super psyched about it. I mean, he did put it on his social media. Like, check out the art, the new ink.
It's true. That's true. I as like his future wife,
Comma.
actually, I would find that fucking fascinating. I think I would be like, wow, that's fucking awesome.
I understand like a quote that resonated with you, but a face is a major step.
I remember seeing Sylvester Stallone on like Oprah or a talk show years ago, and he said something like for his wife's like, I don't know, 27th birthday, whatever it was, that he got this tattoo, and then he reveals it, and it's her face like all across his chest, and thinking, is that a gesture of love? I don't know. Because if I was Sylvester Stallone's wife, I don't know if I would be like, well, now we're good, babe. Like, I don't know.
I think it's a gesture like forever, obviously, because I've
But
now
is it to
drawn
convince
you.
oneself or is it to convince the other person?
I think both.
Right. Do you have any tattoos?
No, I thought about getting one, but every time I think about it, I don't know what I want to look at for the rest of my life. But I think they look cool sometimes on some people. I'm looking at my forearm because that's where I think it would go.
I know. What have you been tempted by?
I don't know. Like something shape-wise, not something like specific. Or some sort of doodle.
All right. Well, maybe you could do bunny ears, for the house bunny to symbolize me.
Oh, yeah. I would like to do that. By the way, you haven't really decorated this dressing room like for your specific taste. Not knowing you that well, I don't know that you're a huge F Troop fan. But maybe you are. Maybe like the reason you got into entertainment was F Troop.
Faris, F Troop. Fuck yeah. No, I keep, I didn't know if we were going to get canceled. First, we were told that we weren't allowed to hang stuff.
You're not allowed to decorate?
Well, listen, I don't have a lot of power.
Well, this show's been on a long time. How long has this show been on?
5 years.
See, I feel like 5 years. You can hang a poster.
Yeah. Well, I did get that massage chair.
I know. And for those of you listening, the massage chair takes up really 1/4 of the room.
Yeah.
It's the size of a VW Bug.
It's massive.
I've never seen such a massage chair.
And
I'd like to try it.
Well, you know what? You're in for a
I should
tough
do the
time.
rest of the podcast from the massage chair.
Okay, can we ask you some questions?
Yeah, ask away.
Okay. So, these are called Just Answer, but you can also feel free to expand because I'm not a dictator.
Okay. What is your show?
The show Mom?
No, F Troop.
Oh, F Troop. Ferris Troop. Yeah, Ferris Troop.
I mean, if someone came in here, they'd be like, fucking hell, she loves F Troop.
Can't get enough of it. It ran from 1965 to 1967.
I know that about F Troop.
And
It had a really short run for such a mega hit.
Okay.
I'm assuming it was shot on the Warner Brothers lot.
No, look at it. It was shot in Texas.
No, that's like a corner of the lot. You like put up a fucking
No.
they put up a fort.
No.
Do you use your safe?
Sometimes. Why?
I've
That
never
was an
not
interesting
something you
question.
see very often in a celebrity dressing room, a safe.
Okay. So,
Probably missing 20s all over the place.
being in LA,
Yeah.
have you noticed qualities or traits in women that are different from where you grew up? I know it's kind of a broad question.
I think people come out here I don't come out here unless you have a lot of drive and desire to make it. I think people who move out here, male and female, are very hungry for success in entertainment.
And maybe food.
Yeah, because they can't afford it when they first get out here, like me. It's a city you come to with a lot of gumption and drive and moxie.
So is that an attractant or does that...
It depends on the girl, or the woman or man, I suppose. Or you're asking about women, so I'll stop doing both genders.
No, do.
I think, yeah, because sometimes it can be off-putting. It's like, wow, you're so hungry for career success, you're not even paying attention to anything else.
Do you think that, because we were talking earlier about how, especially in your 20s, when you come out here and you have to, this field, along with a lot of other fields, requires so much dedication that there's a bit of like checking off the list in terms of relationships. It's like, okay, that one seems okay, I will do that, and then that part's done, so I can still like focus on career because it just requires so much, and I think that everyone is sort of any ambitious person has to dedicate 80 to 90% of their energy to that, and then
to making it, or to keeping your career going.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my life. I mean, I've never been married. I'm 42 years old.
I would say congratulations.
I mean, I think there's plenty of people in my life who would say that I was so focused on my goals that I probably could have had a successful marriage and a child by now if I was less 1,000% focused.
It's hard to spread yourself thin and make other people very happy, like in your life, that want companionship.
It's tricky. I mean, I have not been successful at it thus far, but I think 43 is the year I make it all work.
Oh, fuck yeah, it is. Okay, what's the sexiest quality you find in a woman?
Funny, making me laugh. I mean, obviously, it goes without saying, first and foremost, there's a physical attraction. You want to sleep with the person or not. I think men and women both go, yeah, I would or I wouldn't. Or I guess I would or I wouldn't. Or, man, I really would love to, or I really would not love to.
I don't know if women do it that instantaneously. Like, I don't know. At least
the way I was brought up, I was told that women will know within a minute of meeting you whether or not they're going to sleep with you.
What I think is the difference is that isn't necessarily, like with men, it's these stereotypic attraction things, but with a woman might be more open to being, I mean, I feel like the women I know have more of a wide range of tastes.
Absolutely.
Whereas men are like, oh, I like this kind of looking person. And, but then after the initial, am I attracted to this person sexually? It's, does she make me laugh? That's everyone I've really liked has made me laugh.
Have you ever been with a woman or dated a woman that you weren't initially sexually attracted to, but then after you got to know her personality, you found her attractive sexually?
Yes, and talent.
Yeah.
I've been with women that at first I didn't necessarily have that first initial holy shit thing, but then there was something she did that was her skill, whether it be being an amazing actress or being an amazing singer or being an amazing writer.
Well, passion, right? Like passion,
but also
very...
talent. I mean, like I can look at someone who's a singer who I wouldn't necessarily have been sexually attracted to initially, and then go, "Holy shit, that voice! That is the sexiest person I've ever seen." All of a sudden,
Same.
I'm completely with that. That's happened to me. It happens to me all the time. No, it doesn't happen to me all the time.
I was about to say, careful.
It's happened to me a few times. Definitely.
Sim just got married.
Really? And how long did you date before you got married?
We dated for
Like two years? Is that right?
maybe 2 years, yeah.
But he knew.
I knew within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I was done.
He told her to not go out on any more dates.
Yeah, I made her cancel all of her other
how old are you?
online dates. I'm 40.
Oh, so good. There's hope for me, maybe, because...
Are you kidding me? Of course.
Because you're a 40-year-old who found true love at 38.
Exactly. There is hope. But are you actively looking?
Yeah.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Do you use social media?
No. I mean, I have flirted, like, on Instagram before, but
you don't
I'm not,
use
like,
a
out there.
Bumble or a thing?
What about the Raya, the celebrity
I've
app?
tried Raya. Actually, I dated a girl for 9 months off that, but I turned it off now, but because it didn't go that well.
Wait, don't you like a theme song with your post?
Yeah, mine's the Different Strokes theme song.
But we've talked to a few different celebrities that have used Raya, and most of them have like turned it off or whatever. But what is the...
I tried it because I was intrigued by this idea of it, and I actually ended up dating a woman who's great off of it for 7 months. But then I just felt like, okay, I tried that. I'm not sure it's for me, and you can turn it off. The answer to your question is, in our line of work, who am I meeting? I'm meeting actors. I'm meeting occasionally a producer or a writer type. The idea behind wanting to try it was like, wouldn't it be great to date someone who's in where I live back and forth between New York and LA, who's in my city, but maybe isn't an actress or a writer or a producer or a whatever, editor. And so not too far, I met a photographer, but at least it was different and it was interesting and it was intriguing to be dating someone outside of the entertainment industry, even though fashion photography is, I guess, the entertainment industry.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Somebody, I don't know why I was just thinking about that Tom Hanks movie, it's called either Crash or Overboard or I'm on an Island. What's it called?
Castaway. That's right. Castaway.
Yeah. It just occurred to me, like, maybe that woman at the end is the only perfect woman out there. Like sending artwork through FedEx and, she lives in the country. So there you go.
I'm not sure how that relates to my story.
Because I have a whole list of men in professions that you should not date.
Right.
And I haven't been able to figure out the female equivalent.
Have you ever used these services?
No, I haven't.
Do you no longer date men in entertainment?
No, that's the problem. I love our industry. I love like bouncing ideas and like the creative passion and somebody who understands like the schedule and what I want to do and how I want my voice to be heard. And so
I think that, who you're meeting aside, it is the trick. The lifestyle of it is tricky for someone who's not in the industry because all of a sudden you're away for a while. And I imagine that's very hard to keep going with someone who's an orthodontist.
Although
you'd have the best fucking teeth.
Oh my God.
This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by ZocDoc. Who gets excited about trying a new restaurant that has 2 out of 5 stars? When it comes to finding healthcare, don't ratings matter even more? ZocDoc is a free app where you can compare doctors, read reviews from real patients, and even make same-day appointments. When I finally called to reschedule my dentist appointment, I was told that my dentist had been retired for nearly 3 years. In my defense, parking was a nightmare. Through ZocDoc, I found a new dentist who had great reviews, took my insurance, and whose office was actually within walking distance. I was also able to book an appointment instantly without talking to a receptionist who made me feel guilty about not having my teeth cleaned for 3 years. My new dentist didn't make me feel guilty either, and only suggested I floss a little more often. Whether you need a primary care physician, dentist, dermatologist, psychiatrist, eye doctor, or other specialist, ZocDoc makes healthcare easy. Now is the time to prioritize your health. Go to ZocDoc.com/unqualified and download the ZocDoc app. Sign up for free and book a top-rated doctor who might be available as soon as today. That's ZocDoc.com/unqualified. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Osea. Wondering what to gift your friends and family this holiday season? Female founded over 25 years ago by a mother and daughter team, Osea's award-winning cleansers, serums, face moisturizers, and body products give you the results you want. Skin that looks and feels amazing. I recently got to try Osea's new body butter, which, like their now famous Undaria algae body oil, transforms dry skin without being greasy, has the same incredible scent, and leaves your skin soft, smooth, and healthy looking. If my experience is any indication, you can count on your partner giving you a lot of compliments. This holiday season, stock up and share your new favorite clean skincare and body care with your friends and family. Unqualified listeners get 10% off your first order with promo code ANNA at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order, and orders over $50 get free shipping. Gifting is always easier if you start early, so head to OSEAMalibu.com. Use code ANNA.
This is an odd question.
Go.
You can answer it if you'd like. What woman would you trade places with for a day? Sim loved it. I like it too.
I think it's an interesting question. I mean, I don't know what my answer would be. I don't know what my answer would be.
Would it be? It would be like
I haven't
Pamela
thought about
Anderson
it.
or
What the heck? What?
Yeah,
That's a
weird.
your brain-
Just one
Pamela
day.
Anderson.
It's not
Pamela Anderson,
like
where did that
you
come
want to
from?
give like a fucking.
Why would I
UN
want to trade
speech
places with Pamela Anderson for a day? That
because
makes
you
no
want to
sense.
feel what it's like to have like tits and.
I can feel my wife's tits. I can.
No. But I'm saying like you on your body because if you're just
My
it's just
answer,
for a
I think
day.
as a woman, you thought that our male answer would be like, oh, I could fondle my sexy vagina.
And
And that's not where my brain
No,
went.
exactly.
That's really not where my brain
No,
went.
not
Do
in
you
my
want to like?
Can imagine you
truly-
said like, okay, now I'm like
Give,
insert
like-
hottest girl ever here. I'm Emily Ratajkowski, whatever her name is, and I'm just sitting there feeling my own boobs. That's not really what I would do.
Yeah.
But it's just for
So
a
true.
day.
Look at these. Look what I got. Look how great these are. And there's my vagina.
I actually think it'd
Gonna
be
give that a
very
little
helpful
tap.
if you guys changed, like, just for the day
Yeah.
Yeah.
with, like, just.
I feel an
just
Anna
a
Faris movie coming on. Can we do a movie where I turn into you and you turn into me? We swap sexes.
Yes, I would love that. Brah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah, brah. I
There's
say
never
more.
been a boyfriend-girlfriend switching places movie. I don't think there
is
has
it
been.
not
so
time? We're on the Warner Brothers lot.
Right,
Let's
why
go
don't we
pitch
do
it. This movie pitches itself. We just walk in right now. We bring the F Troop poster. It's going to be like this. We put the F Troop poster down and we go, need we say more? It's this, but with us switching. Imagine this, but it's Anna and I switching places.
I would greenlight in a second. I think it's a winner.
Oh, man. I went to, like, a weird, like, nipple waxing scene in my head.
Do you have your nipples waxed?
What's a nipple?
No. I was just
like
thinking if I was a dude and I would look down and be like, oh, shit, fuck, there's some hair. There's a little bit of fuzz there. All right.
Do women wax their nipples?
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
don't
ask that.
know. I don't know.
You know. If not you must have girlfriends that do or don't.
Is that a thing? Nipple waxing? For
I
women?
don't know. Listen, I'm just trying to pitch fucking comedic scenes here,
Now
dude.
I need to Google, do women wax their nipples?
Fuck. Yo.
Maybe one of your minions could.
He's honest. Are you googling it?
Can
Is
you
there a
Google
nipple?
that for me? Do women wax their nipples?
I wonder if it's like if something is advertised at a salon.
I'm sure
like
they
nipple
do.
waxing.
When you're doing the vagine, you might go, "Hey, check out."
Yeah,
these.
exactly.
Can you throw these in?
Right. I'm sure it's the same. It's the same like wax.
It's the same woman, right?
Right.
She does nipples too. What is it?
Yes.
No, it just teaches you how to.
Oh, so you do it yourself. You
Well,
can't
it's
go
a-
get it done professionally.
I'm sure you can. If they're down there doing your vagina
Yeah.
and anus, they'll throw in nipples for free.
It's an add-on, or
Why are you laughing?
I'm just wondering what your scene would be as me.
I picture you going to the waxer and be like, "Hey, Josephine, throw in these guys."
Yeah. But I'm you. But what would the equivalent be? Like,
What do you mean?
So I'm in your body.
Right. Oh,
Well,
you're because men, we don't go to a salon. We
No,
have
no,
to,
but
we
yeah,
have to
so-
take a razor
so,
in the
yeah.
shower and keep it all at bay.
So that's what I do.
Yeah, I'd love to see that scene.
Am I like terrible
Wait,
at
in
like
the body
urine-
switching
am I-
movie, we're
Yeah.
Exactly. Am I urinating
have my-
all over the place?
Yeah, you're
because I don't
playing with
know
my
how
penis,
to-
not like you're shooting you're so excited to be able to aim your piss everywhere that you're just like pissing all over the walls.
Yeah, but I also know that I have to fucking clean it up.
No, you don't. You're Anna Faris.
That's
Walk
true.
away.
Fuck yeah. You're gonna have to put like little Cheerios.
I remember we were kids. My brother was so excited. We were at Disney World and we were at the urinals, and he was just so excited. And he went woohoo, and he kind of just fucking threw some.
Doused a few people.
No, doused the wall in excitement. And I always remember that story. Like, he was so excited as a young boy. He was like Xing.
I have a penis and
he
I'm
was-
at Disney World.
I have a cock in my hands and I'm at Disneyland. Take that, wall.
Yo, brah. This has been fucking real. Bros before hoes.
Oh, we're still within the world of the bros. Oh my god! That was like Inception. We were back in the
I
bros.
had no
before.
idea. All right.
Hey, so as a director, as a director, Zach Braff.
Yes, bring
Dear
it down
listeners-
to NPR level.
Dear listeners, by the way, we have the most brilliant Zach Braff.
Hey,
That's when the interns are supposed
He's
to
a writer,
applaud, but
director.
they're eating nachos.
Writer, director, actor, composer. What else?
You are
Wait,
write
you've
it
never
down.
composed
a
anything?
Libra,
I've sometimes hummed stuff to my composer and gone make it like that.
race car driver, a tattoo dreamer.
I have my pilot's license.
Well, that's impressive.
I've flown places.
That's
I was
impressive.
trying to think of other things to brag about. That's about all I got.
You play a podcaster on TV,
I play a podcaster on the new, hopefully hit ABC comedy Alex Inc.
which is so charming, by the way. We saw the
And-
She
pilot.
didn't watch it.
and
She
you've
watched a little
directed
bit.
it.
She did not watch.
I watched
any
the
of
whole
it.
thing. I watched actually both episodes.
You
First,
watched none of it. She
ask me
heard
questions.
the title.
You know what? Quiz me. I
No.
guarantee you.
Did you like it? I
loved it.
directed
It was
both
so,
episodes you saw.
I didn't know you directed the second one. Because I didn't look at the credits for the second one, but I knew you directed the first one. But so charming, and the kids are amazing.
Yes, They're going to steal the show.
The kids are amazing.
You didn't see the fucking show.
I have a fucking show here to do.
You're
And
drinking
I have gotta
Chardonnay
catch
in
up
your
on
dressing room in
fucking
your massage
F-
chair staring at F Troop.
But she knows it's based on Alex
Yeah,
Bloomberg.
she knows that I'm in it.
She knows this place is based on Alex Bloomberg.
This is what she knows. I'm in it.
So
And
wait,
maybe it's ABC.
7:30 Midwestern time?
Yeah. I think.
Thursdays?
Mountain. I think they call it Mountain.
Mountain time.
Yeah.
Mountain time.
I went to
but-
school in Chicago, and it was always weird because the primetime shows come on at 7.
Northwestern.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that about me? Someone read a sentence.
Didn't read. I don't know how to read. Someone told me something.
Someone glanced at a sentence.
And I was like, no, wait, I'm from the Northwest.
And then you found a way to...
Wait, no, Northwest. Wait. Oh. Yeah.
You know why it's called Northwestern?
No.
Because when the school was founded, it was the northwestern part of the United States of America.
Oh, my God.
You're bored.
No, it's not boring. It's just, I just love it that was probably like such a freshman fact.
It was like on the tour. Yeah. I took the tour with my dad, and they do it in the spring because it's beautiful in Evanston, Illinois in the spring. And then you get there, and it's the coldest fucking place on earth. And you're like, this isn't like the tour. Where's the beautiful lakefront? Anyway.
But did you like it?
I loved it.
Wait, you were theater? My wife went to Northwestern
I was
as well.
a film major. I like your wife more now.
Yeah, well, the theater school and the film school are great. They're
Yeah, I was a film major, but took acting classes because I wanted to do both.
As a director, when you're on the set and an actor suddenly, either right before the scene or maybe even stops the scene, says, why would I say that?
I hate that. Just say the fucking line. Sorry, was that your question?
So it's never happened to you?
Happens all the time. Not all the time. I think I've worked with a couple actors in my life who have been so bad at that they've sort of ruined the experience.
And do you think that that's like a hesitation of like actually stepping up to the plate and acting? Or do you think it's like they haven't thought it through well enough? Or because...
The problem is when it happens on set, because as a filmmaker, one thing a lot of people who aren't in the business might not know is a big part of your job is doing it all fast. And that's from someone who's made a $2 million indie and, a $26 million studio movie. No matter what the case, or even in student films, a big part of your job is I have to get all this, get it good, and get it fast because I can't go into overtime with the unions or I'll be yelled at or fired. So when you have an actor who's like, can we talk? You're like, oh, you're fucking kidding me. We could have talked in those weeks of rehearsal. We could have talked at rap. We could have talked at lunch.
Yep.
But now you want to talk when I've got that famous person here and that famous person here and the producer giving me the evil eye. You're screwing things up. Because it's a race. No matter what level show you're on, you have less time than you need.
Of course. Well, and I've worked with actors who say that kind of thing. And I find it so frustrating because to me it does feel like, are you stalling? Or like why wouldn't you have thought about this before? Or it does feel like an incredibly
I've had it happen when the person
move.
won't say something that's really funny. They just don't like it. And
did you ever suspect that maybe that's because they were afraid of sort of hitting the ball out of the park or the attempt to hitting the ball out of the park?
in this example, the joke was a bit risque, and the actor decided on the day he didn't want to say it. And I was really bummed because it was funny as shit. And so then I didn't know what to do. And so I asked, didn't matter who said the line. And so I asked another actor to say it. And then the first actor got very upset.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, why are you upset? You didn't want to say it. This guy thinks it's hilarious. And the joke's so funny, it's in the fucking trailer of the movie.
Listen, if you need me to say a raunchy joke,
I hear that
I'm
you're
a
good at
cheap
those.
hire.
I hear that you're good at those.
and I don't ever go to set and say, why would I say this? I just do it. I'm a real team player.
I'm more aware now of hiring actors that are not only good, but also aren't going to ruin the time that we're going to have together.
I think more than ever, it feels like has to be a sense of teamwork a bit, especially making comedies.
I know, but now more than ever, it took this long in the industry to do more investigating. And I don't know, being on the producing, directing side, if actors really know that, like, now we call about everyone, because it's like, if you've had a couple bad experiences, you'll call 10 people and be like, how was your time? How was your time? Because, it's too much of your life to have ruined by someone.
Do you think that that's the shift from just like the superstardom from the 80s and 90s, how we used to have like these movie stars that, studios would put up with all kinds of crazy, insane behavior, in a shift to more content-based appeal?
That's a very good question. Probably your best.
Thank you.
Maybe it has to do with just getting, as a creator of stuff, for me getting to a point. There's plenty of directors who go, I don't care how annoying he or she is, I'll make it work. I think it's to a point in one's career where they go, I don't care what you're paying me or how cool the person is. If they're horrible, I don't want to do it. I've had people that are heroes of mine that enough people said, dude, trust me, don't. That we just didn't, because it was like, that won't be fun at all. You'll get to work with someone you looked up to, but it'll be 6 weeks of misery. And it's like, okay, well, I'd rather have someone that I fucking like, who's cool, who's nice, who's kind.
Yes. Yeah.
Kindness.
And a kindness, and which also usually correlates, like, it's usually in conjunction with an exchangeability. So, like, a completely narcissistic actor can be very internal and interesting, but then as the actor being opposite to that person, it feels isolating and alone,
Well, and you're not going to do anything good if you're not comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, as an actress or as a director or anything, you're not going to, I bet you would say that the best stuff you've done is when you were comfortable and you liked everyone and you felt relaxed to be wrong and to be stupid and to be silly.
Everything I've done is the best stuff I've done.
I don't agree.
Whoa. Have you seen all of my work?
I haven't seen the entire canon, but I loved you in F Troop.
Oh, thank you.
66 was my favorite year because it was right in the middle. How long does this podcast go?
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
know,
you and I
sorry,
could
sorry.
talk for weeks.
Really? You do? Oh,
Yeah.
good. Okay, well, I do want to talk to you, but do we want to do the game?
No,
or should we go to callers?
How long did these usually go?
Here's
2
the thing.
hours?
Well, we have a lot planned, but I do want to get to the calls just
I can
because.
do anything. I don't have to be anywhere till tomorrow.
So we do have like an advice portion.
All right.
So
Yeah.
we're going to give
Are these
advice.
real callers?
Real callers
Yeah.
who wrote in asking for.
Oh, they
actual
wrote in. They're not
relationship
on the
advice.
phone. That would be
No,
advanced.
no,
they
they
are.
are. They wrote in, but we actually selected the actual callers.
This is a fancy show.
Yeah.
It doesn't look
Yeah,
fancy.
go ahead and start dialing.
Can I take a picture of you?
Okay.
We're calling them right now?
Yeah. We're getting. We can take the picture. Don't worry
I
about
don't know
it.
what's going on. By the way, only Sim does.
Only I do.
You're so
Hello.
cute. Wait,
Hey,
look back
Annalisa,
at me.
hang on a second because Zach Braff right now is taking a picture of Anna.
Hi.
Did you get the shot?
I got it. She looked adorable. Hi.
Okay, Annalisa, say hi to Anna. She's in Washington State and she's 25.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Anna. Hi, Zach.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
We're just drinking wine at
In my dressing
at
room.
4:15 on a Tuesday.
So,
Sounds wonderful.
Annalisa, so we're gonna talk. We're trying to give you some help right now. What's going on with your fiance?
So my fiance and I have been together for 6 years now, and we have a very strong, trusting relationship. I would consider us to be best friends, and we always kind of have been. And I've never, ever doubted his faithfulness to me in our relationship. However, something happened recently that made me a little bit uncomfortable. Last week, I came home from work, and my fiance kind of stopped me at the door and said, I need to tell you something because I don't want you to be upset about it, but I hung out with a girl today and had a couple of drinks at her house this afternoon. And this girl in particular was one of his close friends' recent ex-girlfriends, who I know a little bit, not very much. But anyways, my fiance hangs out with this friend maybe about once a month or so, and sometimes the girlfriend is there with them at their house when they're hanging out. And
But I never really had this impression that my fiance was even friends with or close to this girlfriend whatsoever. So it was a little bit of a shocker for me to hear that he'd, hung out with her independently. And I just never would have thought that he would have been friends with her. So he said it was purely a friendly encounter and that she invited him to hang out and that he knew he should tell me about it because we talked about this in our relationship about what to do if we hang out with someone of the opposite sex and to just tell the other person about it, and that's fine. And he said he wanted to stay friends with her and that he was probably going to hang out with her again in the future. And he was wondering how I felt about that.
I don't feel good about it so
I feel
far.
a lot of things about that. So it's a kind of a complicated situation. Just to give you a little bit of a background. First of all, this girl is extremely attractive, which I have no problem with. I think she's hot too, but my fiance has said that to me in the past too. We've both kind of commented on how attractive she is. And that's all fine and good when that person is in a relationship with somebody else. It's not as big of a deal, but when you're hanging out with this person alone at their house, it's a little different. And then in addition to that, this girl just broke up with her boyfriend, so she's kind of in that potential rebound stage. And she also used to accuse her ex-boyfriend of hitting on me when they hung out at her house, which he totally wasn't. He's like a brother to me. He used to be our roommate several years ago. And so we really don't have that kind of relationship, but maybe she kind of felt weird about that. So I'm worried that this girl either has some sort of crush on my fiance and is testing the waters with him, or that maybe she feels pissed off at me for some reason because maybe she thought her boyfriend was, her now ex-boyfriend was hitting on me, and maybe that I was kind of baiting him to do that. So my problem now is that my fiance doesn't see any problem at all with hanging out with this girl, and maybe there isn't. But given the circumstances, I'm really uncomfortable with the situation, and I just want to know if I'm overreacting.
Nope.
This is bullshit. I'm anxious and upset.
No, if you could see our faces right now, we were all livid.
We're all wincing and upset.
But wait, okay. We'll be delicate. So okay. I have a few questions. So if you guys have been together for 6 years, and you're recently engaged?
We got engaged in October.
Okay. And you're planning your wedding for 2019, and you guys live together?
Yes. We actually own a home together.
Okay, so yeah, that's in and of itself a big source of pressure. I don't love at all the way your fiance is responding to your questioning. You seem like a rational person. I always felt like if a guy starts to go with the whole thing of like, you're crazy, you're jealous. I don't know if he's doing that, but that's a red flag to me. And also this defense is kind of lame on his part. And I know that you probably feel like a lot of women, and I've been there too, where it feels jealousy is such an awful feeling that it makes you get like wrapped up into it, and a manipulative person can use that, that idea. And I don't want you to feel small in a time of like what should be like we're planning our future together, right? It's a big fucking red flag that he doesn't understand. And I'm sorry but you guys go, because you guys know this.
Well, I just think that I don't want to be with anyone who's going to make me feel jealous. And it's one thing if you're being irrationally jealous, that would be a problem. But everything you just laid out is, I think most people would feel curious and insecure and concerned about. And if I'm going to commit the rest of my life to someone, I certainly don't want to be put in that position. I completely think it's rational for you to be jealous and confused and pissed off. And I don't know. I think I've been in that position where I felt horrible about it, and I don't want to choose people that wouldn't go, oh, I see what you're saying. I see how you felt that way. Or some sort of understanding.
What does your family think? Have you been able to talk about this with anybody else?
Well, I didn't want to alarm anybody because we're planning a wedding together, and so there's already a lot of stress around that. So that's why I kind of wanted to get some outsiders' opinions because all my family just absolutely loves my fiancé to death. So I would never want to, without good reason, give them any reason to think otherwise. So that's kind of why I wanted to talk to you all.
If he's going over there, she's an attractive girl. They're drinking in the daytime. It's not kosher, as my people say.
I'm confused by I'm confused by the fact that usually when people break up, people take sides, and it seems to me that your fiance's best friend, that should be the side that you're both on, right? And especially if you don't know her that well, I'm confused as to why he is still in her life, even though he should be siding with the friend. Does that make sense at all? Why are they hanging out alone, first of all? Does your fiance's friend know that they're hanging out socially together?
I don't think so. We just actually hung out with this friend the other night, and I don't think it ever came up in conversation, and I think he would probably feel weird.
I mean, if everything was out in the open and they're all really close friends and everything's fine, your fiance's friend doesn't care that they're hanging out socially because they're all friends, and you don't even know this girl. This is all just does not sound
well, and
great.
also, it's not going to be, if this is happening now, you're not even married yet, it's going to be something that recurs in your marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I'm
not a married person.
That's what I'm saying, is that it's not actually about this attractive girl at all. Like, this is about their relationship, of course. And if it wasn't this girl, could it be somebody else?
It's also, I think, about respect.
Yeah.
I think this other spouse, and I think needs to go out of their way to make, because we all can be insecure, we all can be jealous, to say, hey, this is not that. I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm drinking in the daytime with a hot person that we both think is hot, hanging out in the
Sim
living.
and I do that all the time, though.
Well, he just got married, so he didn't work.
Oh.
Your charms didn't work. I just think, I would like to think that my one day wife will go out of her way to make sure I don't feel that way.
So the question, I think, is, and I don't mean to be like sort of gender specific with this, but I do. Can you trust in your father or a brother or somebody to talk to your fiance to like kind of feel this out? And also, what you should know is that if you cancel everything, it is so fine. Like, if you walk away from the wedding, and because the truth is, what I think that we're all feeling from the story, and we obviously don't know, but the story that we're all feeling here, I think, is that he's cheating on you. Or
flirting beyond what's acceptable.
Or close to it, or would cheat if given the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes. If she made a move on him, you have to ask yourself, being totally honest with yourself, would he say no?
And I think that what Annalisa's gut is telling her is that probably something's happened. And whether it's kissing or whatever, like, oh, we shouldn't.
I don't even know. My sense was, obviously we only had her paragraph, but was not necessarily that anything had happened yet, but that he was still pushing the envelope of what's cool.
That was my problem. My problem with that was the fact that he was telling you that, hey, you shouldn't worry. Don't worry about it. We're just friends. It's fine. I didn't like that, because if the minute you told him that you felt uncomfortable with it, you should have said, I completely understand. I won't see her again. But the fact that he pushed back, that's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to be hanging out with her again.
Right, exactly.
And that you included the details of how you had both viewed her as attractive, like sort of. So, like, there's something like not odd, but truthfully, here's the thing. At the end of the day, you're young. There's a world of people out there that you can have incredible experiences with. But
that's hard because she's in love with this person.
Yes, true.
And you don't want to walk away from a marriage and the whole thing.
They're not married yet. I'm just saying, don't get pressured into a marriage because the engagement has already happened.
Yes, I agree with that.
Because everyone else is involved with their own shit. So they like if you
No one cares. You save yourself a blender.
yeah. I've had a couple of friends in my life that have cut off engagements, and I'm always so much more impressed with that than actually getting a divorce.
Right away.
Because it's
I
like-
think people get divorced like a year later, and you're like, you know what? Give me that fucking blender
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
You didn't earn it.
But it's also like that takes so much courage to sort of recognize, oh, okay, here are the things that might not make me happy in 5 years, 6 years. So I know that at the risk of feeling a little bit of humiliation and my friends and family being like, what the fuck is going on? It's so much easier than going through a divorce and yeah, because truly, like, people are so involved. Everyone's involved with their own stuff. So just don't worry about feeling judged if you are second guessing getting actually married, because I'm not sure this guy is at this point in the game if he is making you feel secure, and that is hugely important.
Yeah.
And so I don't.
That horrible feeling you have, you don't want to have throughout your life.
Exactly.
And it
You do have
sucks.
to be careful sometimes that your brain just didn't go and make something insane up. But I think I've heard enough of what you said to think that's not the case.
And guys, I don't know if I'm wrong about this. There's a little bit of a mentality of, well, I can cheat before I'm actually married. And that's not some like I can do all this stuff. I got to get it out of my system. Whatever is going on in his brain, that's not something that necessarily gets out of the system. So if that's what's going on with your fiance, I just don't know if it will dissipate. I think you should confide in a trusted source, and I think that you should also say, when the timing is right, to your fiance, I'm not quite sure what's going on with you and, I don't know, Cheryl, whatever. But I'm not sure that what you've told me adds up.
Or also just what's true for you, that this is
Right.
this is how it makes me feel.
Right. And maybe say, like, please don't say anything until I finish. But this
I always
makes
do that. No, I do. I always say I have a long paragraph prepared. Don't say anything until I'm done.
So what would you say?
For her?
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't prepared hers, but I'm saying I use that in communicating with the opposite sex. I would say, don't say anything until I'm done. I mean, it would be way longer than this, but it would be something in the spirit of, you said you were going to keep hanging out with this girl, and that really makes me feel not right in my heart. And I don't want that. I don't think you should be hanging out with women, attractive or not to you, during the day and drinking as a married man. That's not going to be okay with me as your wife. And I don't want to feel like shit to my new husband. And it feels a little bit inconsiderate of you to not think how it would make me feel.
I think you can also say, and honestly, I think there is a little more to the story that you feel like you can't tell me. And I'm not asking that of you right now, but I can't enter into a marriage without knowing that I feel completely safe.
Hey, Annalisa, I know this is a lot. Was this?
I know,
Was
I'm
this
so
some kind of-
sorry.
I think we fucked it up more.
Well, I mean, were
Probably.
you expecting this reaction from us at all?
Also, can I marry you?
Can you imagine? She's like, sorry, guys, I didn't hear a word you said.
Wait, you were not expecting this reaction?
No, I was not. I mean, I think that a lot of the things that you're saying reflect a lot of what I was feeling, but I feel like your reaction's even stronger than my own, which
Oh, God,
scares
I'm
me a
sorry.
little bit.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's Anna's fault. I was just supposed to be in Burbank today.
I'm a pretty modern person. I by no means do I condone or accept there to be infidelity in any relationship that I'm in, but I mean, I'm okay with the idea of my forever, partner in life to find other women attractive and to have friends who are women that are attractive. But I think a lot of the things that you're saying kind of confirm the way I was feeling, and that this particular situation is not okay, and that it's okay that I feel the way that I do
Yes.
completely. So I should definitely stand my ground about it and see what he has to say about that.
I think most importantly too, I mean, obviously, if you guys have some arrangement that makes you feel okay, then by all means work that out, just so there's clear communication. But you felt horrible enough in your heart to write this letter and to ask for some stupid stranger's advice like us. So it means that something came up for you, and it will likely continue to come up again, I imagine, unless you kind of come to some sort of agreement with your fiance.
I've been in relationships where it's only in hindsight that I realized that the person didn't value me. And they're great learning experiences. And I do believe that it's important to feel a little bit like a heartbreak in life. But if I could have learned those lessons a little bit earlier, I think, I don't know. I remember in the time, like the idea of trying to make a bad thing work and feeling like, all right, but this is normal, or like this is what guys do, or like
I
this
felt
is.
that after 2 dates.
But I'm sorry to like give. I hope it wasn't.
Maybe we were too negative. Now I'm having second thoughts.
But I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think you're not feeling valued.
She definitely has to have a clear communication. with you.
Yeah. I think that I think it's so important that you feel valued. It's so important that everyone feels valued.
I guess the shortest answer I could give you is if the tables were totally turned and my fiance did that to me, I'd be really upset about it.
Oh my God. I think I would too.
You just
of
got
course.
married, so you can relate.
I wouldn't.
If my fiance was
could not
like,
accept
"Hey, I have to talk to you. You know that guy we both think is super hot?
Yeah.
I was over at his house today drinking, and I'm going to keep doing it, just so you know."
No. While we're absolutely not. Not happening.
No.
So I guess my final advice: talk to a close family member, because I think that anybody else outside of the situation would understand, but that something's not sitting right. And also talk to him, and he may try to manipulate you a little bit, like what happened to me in the past, which was like, you're crazy, you're a crazy actress, whatever.
Or he might be like, "Don't listen to Anna Faris. She doesn't know anything.
I'm unqualified."
She's fucking on F Troop."
But with another trusted friend, I would seek their advice, and I would also, when the timing is right, it's all about timing with a fiance. I would say like I don't understand this. I do, like, spell this out for me, and please don't make me feel like I'm insane. I don't think I am, because I don't think that normal engaged people behave this way. Oh God,
Annalisa,
will you please
I'm sorry.
keep us informed?
Updated, please.
Yeah, because I please
I
know
will.
please know that you are not alone. There's going to be so many people that are going to respond to this, and so many people that have been there, and you like.
I think you can't hear your story and not go, "Oh, I remember when I was in something similar to that."
Right.
Oh yeah, and I'm telling you, we'll hopefully, we're going to be like getting a ton of feedback with people sharing their stories that sound exactly the same, and I've had my own. Please keep us updated. Please know that we love you. I love you.
Thank you so much, Annalisa.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, now I'm sad.
I'm
Fuck,
sad
did we
too.
just break her heart?
I don't want to
but
break her
here-
heart. I felt like
but
that was like an
don't you-
intervention.
Or are we going to lie to her? Like, what is? I mean, we're not going to lie to her.
No, we can't. But don't.
But now I'm sad. We broke her up.
But what if we prevented, like,
She's
I don't know,
25 years old.
She's 25.
So you guys think? I mean, because I think he's totally cheated. I'm sure they've been fucking.
I
don't know about the cheating
I
part yet.
I think he's probably pushing.
I think
I think he's probably pushing the envelope to have fun flirting, but not to plug my own work. But I once made a movie about this. It was called The Last Kiss. Rachel Bilson implies that he should come over for one last fling before he gets married. And it's about a guy wrestling with that. And it made me think of that movie because I think this guy sounds like, not you went to that he definitely cheated. My brain didn't do that. My brain went, this guy's like enjoying flirting, and if it went there, it would go there. But he's pushing the envelope of what he can do before he gets married, which is super bad for a fiance.
I don't like him for her at all. Nope. We have one more call, by the way. Let's do it.
Yeah, I hope that she keeps in touch, though.
I hope we did a good job.
We did. We told her the truth. We told her.
Yeah, I know.
Why do you seem so proud for her?
Because she feels because Annalisa feels terrible after this conversation. I know she does.
Yeah, but
she wanted to hear that she. I don't know.
I don't know either. That she had.
Do you often help people, or is it always this?
I know we always fucking devastate things.
Hello.
Liz.
Yes.
Hi, Liz. It's Sim. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm going to introduce you to Anna right now.
Hi, Liz.
Hi. I can't believe this is happening. I've been listening to y'all since basically the first episode. Never thought I would be on the phone, let alone talking about this topic.
I love you.
Well, we're going to try and help you.
Thanks
But first,
for doing
Anna is going to introduce our special guest.
We have Zach Braff.
Hi, Liz. I'm here to help.
Hi.
Liz.
How are you?
Hi, Liz. I'm hopefully going to be helpful in giving you the best advice that I can because I'm really ready.
I hope so, because I've only had a female's perspective at this point.
You're about to have.
It's going to be awesome.
You're about to have. You're about to have a pillar of masculinity's 2 cents.
Tell us what's going on with your boyfriend.
All right. So we've been together for about 8 months now. The first month, it was pretty casual, fun, normal. But then I guess after a month, we started being more exclusive and hanging out more. We started, sleeping together on weeknights. And it kind of quickly turned into this, I think I want to sleep with him more than he wants to with me. It would just be like, we'd be going to bed and he'd just be like, oh, I'm tired, and which is fair. But then it kind of just kept happening. And it's not like I wanted it every single night, but it turned into like every 3 or 2 days. And this was all like still pretty new, like in the honeymoon. I still think it's in the honeymoon phase, but I've never really experienced that before. And then meanwhile, I would get on Instagram either the day of or the next day and would see him like following all these Instagram models, and not only just Instagram models, like younger girls that live here in Austin that are like 20 or something, and he's 29. And they all kind of had like the same, like, I don't know, features. So they would all be
Do you mean
and super curvy. I'm brunette and not near as curvy as the girls that he's been following and looking at. And then just, going and seeing him after seeing that, and then him not, just wanting to go straight to bed, like definitely did not make me feel good. And so it just kind of got to a point that I just broke down and I said something about it. And this was like a week ago that I finally just like said, hey, like I see all this stuff that you're doing, and like normally I wouldn't care, but I feel like it's translating to our relationship and when we're together, and I just don't feel good enough. Like he doesn't even say any comments about me physically, which sounds superficial, but it's like I want to feel like I'm attracted to him as much as he's attracted to me. Like just looking at him turns me on, and I don't feel that way with him. And then, so when we had this conversation, he basically admitted, he was like, I haven't told anyone this, but kind of since my existence, I've watched a ton of porn. And so when he told me that, honestly, I really wasn't that surprised because he's a pretty sexual guy, which also doesn't help knowing that. Like one time we were playing that heads up game and the theme was adult, and like you didn't even have to finish the sentence for him to know which porn star it was. And so I kind of already knew that, but at the same time I was like, I don't care what you watch, but it's affecting like our relationship physically, and I don't feel like I'm good enough for you to where I turn you on. And then after we had that conversation, I feel like it almost got worse. And I don't know like how graphic I can get right now.
Get graphic.
Get graphic.
Please.
Like this
We're drinking
like
wine
4
on
days
Tuesday.
Like we were probably making out for a good 10 minutes. Like he went down on me and I thought he was ready, and he was nowhere near ready. And so I was like, all right, just lay back, like I'll help out. And he was like, no, your hand. Like, your mouth isn't going to do anything. Like, use your hand. And I was like, what the, like, do I suck that much at that? Because I definitely haven't heard that before. Like, before I've met you, I was pretty confident in, like, you know, the way I look and just that aspect of my life. And just this whole thing is bringing out all my insecurities. And so I guess, like, my question is a little twofold. Because how do you have this conversation to where it's productive and, like, something changes out of it? Because I've never wanted to be that girlfriend that's like, no, you can't watch what you want to watch, because I'm not innocent. But at the same time, like I said, just looking at him turns me on. And it's just taking so much effort for him to physically be able to have sex with me. And also, is this a common problem in society? Because talking with my girlfriends, they've never had this problem. I've never had this problem. I mean, unless, like, you know, a guy's really wasted. And, I mean, I feel like that's pretty normal. I'm just afraid this is going to turn into a trust issue later on down the road. I'm almost pretty sure if one of those girls that he follows was in his bed, like, he wouldn't be having that problem if it was them and not me.
Liz,
it's kind of how I feel.
First of all, this is such a common problem. Number one. Number two,
okay,
I do not like him for you at all. I think that your body should be worse. Like, you should feel as sexually alive and confident in a relationship as you make somebody else feel. You seem like a incredibly smart, incredibly, like, rational, sexy human, and you should be made to feel that way. And I don't know if even talking with him necessarily works. This sounds like a deeper thread. And I was going to ask you, like, what other things about him do you like? Like, I mean, that's what's making this so difficult, is outside of the bedroom, he is amazing. Like, all my friends love him. I mean, I haven't told really anyone this. So, like, talking with my girlfriends that I haven't told this to, they're like, it looks like he loves you, like, he adores you, he's always, like, worried about you and caring about you. My parents love him. Just, I don't know. And, like, talking to him about this most recently and about that specific night, he was like, I'm sorry, there was just a lot of pressure, like, I can't, especially if I'm thinking about it, it can't just happen. But at the same time, I'm like, you're 29, like, you're young. I don't know. Okay, first, this is definitely where we are super fucking unqualified.
I can talk about erections.
Because maybe there's a time and a place where you can say, okay, listen, here's a support group, but I don't know if I can like continue on with this, with like seeing 5-6 years from now,
right.
And telling him that you want to feel incredibly desired, and asking him, like, what parts of my body do you like? And, like, tell me, like grab my tits and be like, I love this, or whatever, or like my ass and be like,
growled, you went, arr. Grab my tits and go, arr.
Yeah, and like your lips or your hair or whatever, and like you may have to sort of coach him a little bit, but I don't know if that's necessarily your job if you don't want it at all. I think you're going to have to really examine how much investment you want to put into this. And I don't want you to go another year or two, not feeling like a sexy, gorgeous woman.
Well, I think a couple things. There's this Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie that really makes me think about that he directed.
Yes, I know.
What's it called, that movie?
Oh, the Don Juan?
Don Juan, yeah.
What's it called?
It's about this very issue, about this age of porn everywhere and men shooting their proverbial load, if you will, in the afternoon. And then their woman comes home and they're not horny anymore because they've masturbated. I think a 29-year-old guy, is probably not going to be horny if he's already masturbated, he's probably not going to be.
But he's probably masturbating to the craziest shit out there.
But that's irrelevant. The point is
that's not. I'll tell you why it's relevant. It's relevant because how is she going to live up to what his fantasy from during the day?
I'm saying no matter what he ejaculated to, he's still on empty by the time his beautiful girlfriend comes home.
Right, exactly. He is on empty.
If he's 18, he might have 3 more ejaculations to go.
Good point.
But if he's 29, he might have a load per day.
Yes.
True, but why?
Load per day is a great title for a new movie, by the way. Write that down.
But wait, why? But why is he following all the Instagram models? What's that about?
That's kind of like the new Playboy, I think, for men. The new Maxim, is like Instagram.
Okay, it's still not a strong argument.
No, I'm saying, and the truth is, I think a lot of men, I mean, it's pretty brazen to follow them, actually, but I think a lot of men search Instagram because back in the day when our fathers were like looking through Playboy or whatever Maxim was back in the day,
right?
It's now that's just all Instagram. So I don't think this. I mean, whatever. He's a horny dude. He's probably flipping through pictures of girls. The problem is that he's not saving any of his horniness for his woman.
No, I don't think that's a problem at all.
Really?
I think that he's not necessarily hearing her, or I mean, maybe it's I don't know. Yeah.
One other question I had when he told me, he was like, look, I haven't told really anyone this. So the questions that started going through my mind was like, have you not had this problem in the past with past girlfriends? Was it just swept under the rug? Is it just me?
Like what else do I not know about you? Right. I don't know. Maybe you guys.
At 29, he should have more than 2 loads in him
per day.
I think two minimum.
It depends on the man,
right? But
what his LPD is.
But I think this problem is twofold. I think there's part of it is the porn addiction, the fact that he doesn't have he doesn't have enough load in him for later. But the other part of it is that
he's work all day. Does he not work all day?
Yeah, he works, and like sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I'll see that he like started following whoever during like while he's at work.
That's
I'm like,
bad.
are you just in the bathroom like doing this, or I don't know.
Also, I will say about erectile dysfunction that I think it's not only that he's out of loads, but that also once it's happened, he could be having anxiety about performance anxiety. So it's like that can be a spiral where you're like, why aren't you fucking hard? And the last thing he's going to do is get hard. If his girlfriend's going, why aren't you hard? It's like your body has no room to rush blood to your penis if it's panicking.
I wonder if men have gotten so used to jerking off so much that their hand is so much more familiar than a vagina.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, your hand is
so much more familiar.
Oh, I think you meant like another. No, your hand is familiar because we've been doing it for so long.
The man's hand.
Right.
Right hand, left hand. I don't know. Whatever. Whichever. Suits. It's so much more familiar.
I think it's a combo.
It's so much easier.
I think it's a combo sandwich of he's not horny anymore because he's probably masturbated, and now he knows with you there's this anxiety. Could he possibly not get hard? And so he's even more anxious.
Right.
And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
He wants to please you so badly that he's getting into his own head.
Yeah, you can read up on this. I'm sure someone way more articulate than us about anxiety, performance anxiety. But it sounds like once it happened once, he's now he's super anxious when he's about to have sex with you. So he's getting in his head.
Liz, I think that you have to tell him all of this stuff. If you really love,
play this interview for him.
but no,
and ask him about loads per day.
But truly though, if you really love him and love all the elements like except for whatever, I just want to make sure that you feel sexy and loved, because that's a very important part of the relationship, of course. And I think it sucks when sort of the woman has to take an initiative on like the sexual part of the relationship, because we're sort of socialized to feel insecure about that. I think that you should, in this case, if you really love him, maybe I don't know if you guys can go away for a weekend or something, and you can say like, let's sort of play a bit. I'm gonna go down on you. Please don't come. Like, tell him, like, don't you fucking dare come.
Whoa, I just got hard. That's my new ringtone.
and then I'm gonna shove my tit in your mouth,
Wait, slow down.
and then I'm gonna sit on your
way
face,
too fast right now.
and then I'm gonna leave you in bed for a minute. Like, I don't know, if you can, because that's how sexuality's morphed. Well, maybe it's always been it's always been such a forbidden area, but
You know what I like about you, Liz?
What?
Is that you sound,
I thought
not
me.
you. Jesus fucking narcissist. She hears, that's a total actress for you. You know what I like about you? What? No, not you. You sound very sexual and you're confident in your sexuality, which I think is super attractive. And you're saying like, look, I find him so fucking hot, and I'm horny, and I feel my, you sound like someone who's sexually confident and knows what she wants. And this doesn't sound like it's what you want, because sexuality is a big part of a relationship. If you're talking about going the long haul, this is someone you're going to eventually commit to someone to only have sex with them for the rest of your life. Not to say this couldn't be worked out, but it is a giant red flag. You're right to call Anna Faris and ask for her unqualified advice.
Right. And like having this conversation with him and hearing the words come out of my mouth, it's so weird. I mean, this is almost like ego bruising, and not only just making me feel insecure, but I just feel like I can't formulate the right words to explain this without sounding crazy or difficult or demanding or just superficial. I don't know.
oh God, no, you sound so
By the
healthy,
way, I'll
Liz.
bet there's so many people that listen to your podcast that can relate to this woman's story.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, there's been like the whole idea of how we've been socialized, as women, in order to be cool, in quotations, it's like you're supposed to accept your boyfriend's porn obsession, or like you're supposed to be cool with, and I don't know exactly where I fall into any of that necessarily, but I do know that I want to feel fucking worshipped.
You do know that if your boyfriend came home and multiple times didn't want to sleep with you or couldn't get hard, that you'd be concerned, probably.
Yeah.
I want to feel loved and admired, and I want to be able to give that back. And it's a sticky area.
Wow, you're good.
Oh God.
That's the kind of gold.
Not in my world.
Oh, she said not in my Liz for the win.
Yeah.
Hey, Liz, we have to go, but I hope this advice is okay.
Liz, I'm sorry that it wasn't helpful at all.
No, this was great. Like, especially hearing from y'all and not just like my 3 girlfriends, because I've been too afraid to talk about this with anyone that I know. So yeah, this has been awesome.
I think the best solution is like always, and this is like not unique advice, but just like brutal honesty. Like if you're going to be beating off all the time and not saving that for us, then that's a problem. And you can forgive erectile dysfunction. That's a problem that men have, and often has to do with anxiety or obviously age. But he's 29, so that doesn't count. But so I mean, that's something that can be worked on. But like if you're actively knowing that, hey, we might hook up tonight, but you're beating off in the cubicle at work, there's multiple problems about beating off in the cubicle at work.
But and also, Liz, too, like I think, I don't know, it might be interesting if things go well with that initial conversation, to be slightly dominant, and say like, okay, you're in bed, whatever, when you guys are in bed and relaxed.
Don't go too fast. Take this slow.
God, the F troop room is about to get sticky. I don't know. I would just be slightly more aggressive. Fuck you. I'm not giving it all up to you, you fucking ass. Sorry, not you, Liz. My new friend Zach.
Well, I mean, you said I would be dominant. I would say something like colon, and then you've yet to produce anything that's useful to anyone. For all we know, Liz's boyfriend is listening to this and trying to masturbate feverishly to it.
Oh God.
Don't give him any ideas.
Sorry, Liz.
I would just sit on his face, the old go-to. F troop.
That's the old standby. Sit on his face.
When all else
God.
fails. So
Mom
basically
and
what you're
Dad.
saying is when all else fails, just sit on their face.
Yep. Shuts them up. Let
me write
they
that
can't
down.
look at anything but the bottom of the tit.
I'm going to write that down.
Oh my God,
Liz. But truly, thank you so much because we've gotten this question a lot, and thank you so much for sharing because it's so not uncommon, but it's important to me that you feel really good about who you are, and
I bet this is a very common problem.
Oh yeah. In this day and age,
Liz, thank you.
With this
Liz,
internet.
Thank you all so
I love
much.
you. Thank you so much. Please keep us posted if you feel like it. We love you. I love you. Bye.
For sure. I love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
It's a totally common problem, right?
I think it is.
But here's the thing, though. I didn't want to say this because I felt so awful after the first call that
Don't worry, she won't be listening.
I know she's not listening now, but I don't think the story ends well. It just doesn't.
Neither one of those stories ends well.
Yeah.
No.
Even if she tells him to stop watching porn, save the LPD for me, it's not going to work.
I think that women,
There's a new
it is
problem
a
now with
really
with
fucking
porn in your-
tough situation now.
Porn in your pocket, I think, is going to be a growing problem.
Yes.
Pun intended.
Because there's always, I think that there's this idea that there's always something better, or because y'all are kind of stupid.
Well, he's like looking at 19, 20-year-old Instagram models.
Right.
And he's, jerking off in his cubicle.
Right.
Yeah, or the stall at the bathroom.
Or whatever, yeah.
And then he's coming home and he's had his LPD.
He's had his LPD.
And she's like, I'm horny. And he's
Right.
like, oh, let's watch The Family Guy.
This is so fucking depressing. How what is there a win? Where's is there a win for a woman?
I think for him, he would. I mean, if he's truly a porn addict, he would need to get counseling to chill out on the porn.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we didn't ask her how. The rest of her
Or
relationship is.
counseling is an extreme step. Or just stop fucking watching porn every day.
That's the first step.
But there are people. I mean, there are people who need to go.
What
get
if he's
help.
been doing it for 13 years?
Well, there was a certain point in their relationship when they were fucking a lot. I'm sure.
Well, I don't know anyone that has a healthy sex life and is also addicted to porn. I don't know anyone like that. Or at least.
Really?
I don't know. I don't talk to my guy
I think
friends
if you're
about it.
having great sex, you don't really
You don't really want
porn because
Right,
you're
you don't-
having great
right,
sex.
Absolutely.
So what's a woman to do? I truly what is a woman to do in this day and age? When a guy is sort of from age of 14 now, 13, whatever, they can start watching crazy ass porn
Anytime they want, right
anytime
there
they
on their-
want,
yeah.
with unrealistic body types, tons of moaning and groaning,
different fantasies, different type of course.
so
Whatever twisted thing you can think of.
Absolutely.
It's of course the human population, maybe this is part of the grand plan. It's like the fruit fly jar experiment. It's this is how our master creator, not the masturbator, but the master creator is limiting our population. Figured it out. You guys are jerking off too much. We're not having babies.
It is a conundrum.
Yep. Everything's going down. All right. And it's thanks to your fucking sick minds.
I think Liz needs to find someone that is so excited to sleep with her that he doesn't
Exactly.
want to waste his sperm on Insta porn.
Who doesn't
Yes,
want the
but
real
do you
thing?
know how hard that is to find? And when I say hard,
Pun intended.
Oh my God. We should wrap this up.
Why? Have you ever done a 3-hour episode? Let's do it. How many more callers can we take?
right,
God. Hey, dear listeners, thank you so much for listening, and please also write in with your thoughts and comments about our callers and Zach Braff.
And Zach, why don't you promote his thing?
Yeah, promote my thing.
Okay, I'm going to promote your thing. Hey, you guys, Zach's new show, Alex Inc. Oh, that's a terrible. I gotta put more oomph, right?
Yeah, and just be excited about it, like you watched every episode.
Hey, you guys, Zach's new show, Alex Inc. premieres Wednesday, March 28th on ABC, 8:30, 7:30 Central, and I gotta tell you, it is so fucking good.
It is really good, but if you believe for a second that she's seen it, She's fucking.
Here, read your own rest of the copy there.
Hey, you guys. Zach's new show, Alex Inc., premieres Wednesday, March 28th on ABC. It's on at 8:30, 7:30 if you live in those mountains. And it says here, it's about Alex, who's in his mid-30s with a wife and 2 kids, makes the crazy decision to quit his good job and dive into the brave new world of starting a business.
You're so fucking bad.
But listen, let me tell you something. Here's what's relevant to your listeners, if I can give them the hard sell.
Fine,
It's about a guy who starts a podcast. And this is, as they say, a very successful podcast, the one I'm on.
As they say.
And if you like podcasts, it's about a guy. It's actually a true story. If you've ever heard of the podcast Startup, which was another successful podcast, we optioned that guy's life story and made it into a comedy. And if you're listening to this, you like podcasts. So
you like them
Startup
so much that you've been hanging in there till the end.
Well, check out Startup, which is a podcast that is really good. The first season is the one upon which our show is based.
It's called Witch Hunt.
No, that was Trump's tweet today. Witch Hunt. Did you see that? All caps. He just tweeted all caps. Witch Hunt. Anyway.
We're all gonna die.
Wait, before we die, I want you to watch my show. Hopefully, you won't die before March 28th.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
It's been so amazing.
I think you're amazing,
so
and I can't wait to get in the massage chair.
Yeah,
Thank you.
fuck yeah.
Thanks, Zach.
My hand
Thank
is
you.
sweaty.
Good night, everyone.
Sweaty hand.
Sweaty.